Hey everybody, this is a quick blog post review. This is something I stumbled upon a couple days ago. It's titled From Python to Go. It's by Lovable. Lovable is an AI kind of code editor, kind of like Bolt.new or Cloud Code, etc. So you can just prompt, it starts writing code, it lets you deploy a lot of other stuff. So again, this is not a sponsored video. This is just me looking into the blog post, something I liked. Now, I am not a Go user. I am a Python user. I'm a Python heavy user. And there are a couple of things I kind of liked in this video. So we're not going to read through the entire blog post. So the link for this will be available in the description. Go ahead and take a look at it yourself. So a couple of things I liked was they just converted it recently. So reading at Lovable, we recently took on the challenge of converting 42k lines of code of Python code into Go. So that itself is something that says, hey, converting 42,000 lines of Python code, and again, like you have to look at the structure it's written in, what's the pattern it's written in, converting that into Go. We've used a lot of functional coding, we've used a lot of object-oriented coding. Taking the challenge of converting that into Go, that is something heavy. So if they took that challenge, okay, I'm guessing, okay, something's already in there, correct? They saw some sort of, hey, we can make use of Go routines and maybe have a lot of performance improvements, correct? And so the main bottleneck was, like they describe it, to handle high concurrency workloads more efficiently, ship features faster, maintain a clean, sustainable code base. So I think it makes sense, right? Because writing Python code bases, like you write too fast and without a lot of design patterns, and it's kind of very easy to mess up. So TLDR, to log and read. Okay, so that's concurrency first. Go's built-in concurrency model suits our parallel workloads better. Makes sense. So I think I'm not a Go user. I'm just assuming, hey, it's the Go routines. They can just write and hope that, and these routines just run in parallel, correct? And performance gains. We've drastically reduced our server instance count and improved request times. Okay, smarter architecture, better for you. Cool, makes sense. Now, these are a couple of the numbers that kind of interest me, correct? So why we shifted to Go. So when dealing with concurrent parallel workloads, like handling more than 50 HTTP requests in a single chat request, so Python can become tricky to manage. So this is something we have to handle 50 HTTP requests in a single chat request. Python's a problem. The challenge or the decision to kind of move away from Python it's upon them, obviously, but I think it's kind of reasonable, correct? And Python's concurrency model, while functional, gets complicated with heavy workloads. Completely agree. Often, for example, we start with like, hey, write a program. Let's just use Python for loops, right? Oh, that's not working. How about we just do threading, right? Oh, that's not working now. How about we move to async IO, right? Okay, that's kind of working for a bit. And at some point, like, oh, that's not working for good enough for us. Let's move to async IO plus some, let's say, AI HTTP plus multi-threading, or let's do some kind of thread pools, correct? And it just goes on, like editing the core code is not very enjoyable. And kind of, hey, okay, let's just move to Go, let's write Go routines and kind of expect that to happen, correct? It's something to actually look into, something worth looking into. So okay, here's the part that I really loved, right? So impact on the lovable user experience. Obviously, you build a product, you want the user to have better products immediately, and you want, like, hey, why is this the thing the if the user has this question in his or her mind, right? Why is this taking a lot of time to load? Let me just switch tabs, right? If the user kind of does that, it kind of takes away the user experience, like, or it's just like, hey, I built this product but it takes time to load, I don't want to use it. Like, I think that's the mentality today. So this is something that they provided, correct? So it's like faster deployment times drop from 15 minutes to just 3. That's huge, like literally, correct? Like, again, so Go's compiled. So if you can just compile the app, and deploy in 3 minutes, that's just huge win, right? That's a huge win for the dev team, and improves speed. Average request times are 12% faster. Direct benefit for end user. I think I'm not sure if 12% faster is very noticeable. Maybe for an application, hey, there's a lot of moving parts, and you get some of the parts like much faster. 12% actually maybe makes sense, right? And okay, this is the interesting part. Resource efficiency, we've reduced server instances from 200 to just 10, lowering operational overhead and allowing us to reinvest in product features. Handling 200 servers and moving to 10 to handle the same user traffic is just a huge win, correct? I mean, if you can just save money on your cloud costs, correct? Like 200 instances for an app, and just, hey, let's just rewrite the code instead of just hiring a new DevOps engineer and a platform engineer to kind of handle this. Let's just move to Kubernetes. Let's run on multiple clouds, multiple clusters. Hey, why don't we just rewrite our code and just handle like 10 instances? Let's just have 10 EC2 instances. That's big enough instead of handling 200 pods, right? 200 Kubernetes pods. That's like a huge win. Like, I just kind of love this. Like, hey, this number just says, hey, if someone comes up here and says, hey, you handle 200 instances, why don't you just port your code to Go and just like have 10, correct? I mean, looking into, if you're an engineer and one of the server goes down, like looking into just one of them out of 10, out of two, and not of 200 is kind of a huge, like, hey, that's a good, like, you have a weekend, right? You actually enjoy your weekend. You do not want to sit in a weekend and out of the 200 instances, like 20, 25 of them like failed for some reason, maybe memory error, maybe, like some storage issues. And you do not want to sit and investigate these things on a weekend. So kind of a huge win, right? So practical wins, like we said, fewer servers, lower cost. We run fewer incentives, which cuts down on complexity and cost, more time and fewer features. Engineers spend time less on performance bottlenecks and more time, actually true, right? So building new tools and capabilities for Lovable. Kind of a really cool blog post. Like, I think you should take a look at this. Like, if you're a new Go user, of if you've been using Go to build your backend, something worthy looking into. So thank you for being here, and that's all for this video.